What's up, guys? Matt and Peyton with Outdoor Gladiators. We're out today. We're going to hang a few trail cameras. So I thought what a good opportunity to do a little tutorial on how I hang cameras. Now I'm no expert by any means, but I run about 15 to 20 cameras a year, and I've learned a lot of little tips and tricks over the years. So we thought we'd just throw a video together, show you how I hang cameras, how I set them up, the things I take into consideration, and hopefully that'll help you guys out. So stick with us. We're going to go out and hit probably 3 of my spots. We're going to hang 6 to 8 cameras, and we're going to do a tutorial on each one, what I'm looking for, and what I think is the best thing to do when hanging a camera. So thanks for coming along. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification. Let you know when we post new content. You excited to hang some cameras?
Let's get it.
You just got up, so. Oh, bugs are bad. Just got out here and I just realized that I left the camera out last year. Forgot to come get that one out, so we'll have to pull the card and see what's on it. But we just walked in, and down this trail here, this way, there's a cut-in right through this deer bedding. The farmer's made a little road or something going back there, so not really sure what to think of it just yet. Still processing through that, but we're gonna hang this, take this one down, hang another one, and we might actually hang one on that road because there was a lot of deer track through there. So whoa, I'm gonna set this camera up and we'll show you guys a few things, okay? So Peyton's actually got the weed whip here, and we got this tall grass everywhere. Now it's only July, so I have no problems coming in here making a bunch of noise, putting a bunch of gas smell everywhere. It'll wear off and it won't bother these deer at all. So I'm gonna have Peyton clear this big area right here with this weed whip, and that's gonna help the camera not to be set off when the wind blows and this grass is going back and forth. So we're gonna get this all cleaned up and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright guys, so Peyton's got this spot looking really good. It's all cleaned up. Basically, like I said before, all we're doing is knocking this grass down, because this grass, when the wind blows, it's going to trigger this camera, and you're going to check your camera and you're going to be frustrated because you're going to have so many pictures of nothing. So this is just going to help prevent that. So next step, I'm going to move into actually hanging this camera. Alright, so I got this already on the tree, and you'll notice that we got a lot of overhang here, this strap. We're going to have to tuck that away, but not yet. So we're going to get this camera into position. We're going to get it turned on, and inside there will be a test mode. So we're going to turn it on to test mode. We're going to get this camera where we think we need it, snug it up. We're going to go right to test mode. I've already got my card and my batteries and everything in here. So now that we're on test, I'll give it a second to power up. We'll close it up. Now the green light will come on when there's motion in front of it. So we're going to walk around and make sure this camera's exactly where we want it to be. We're going to walk at a lower level, kind of hunched down like a deer, and just make sure that this green light's kicking on, okay? So this is going to look funny. It'll be entertaining for you guys though. Almost fell. So I'll come out here. My green light just came on. Green light's on. Just a deer grazing, minding my own business. Alright. Come out a little bit more. I think we have to angle that camera down just a little bit, because it's not picking me up over there. Alright. So up close, the camera was doing really well, but we need to angle it down just a little bit to get a further shot down there, because it slopes down. Alright, so let's try this again. That's a really important part of this process, guys. You've got to aim these cameras, because although it might look like they're pointed in the right spot, they're not. So that one's all aimed up. The strap is tightened. So one thing that's a big pet peeve of mine is this strap right here. A lot of people just let it dangle. This will blow in the breeze. Deer will see it, people will see it, and it's just not good. So make sure you wrap that thing around and tuck it in underneath the other strap. Secure it, that way it's not going to flap around, okay? So this one's all set up. Do not forget to turn your camera on. I've done that. You come out, hang a camera, get everything set up perfect. You leave, you come back 2 weeks later excited to check that card, and it's in test mode. So let's make sure that we don't do that. I've got my presets to custom on this camera. This is a Stealth Cam, I think it's a PX14. Decent camera for the money, not anything high grade. This is one of the medium range stealth cams, but it takes decent pictures. Alright, so another thing I want to point out, guys, is this camera is angled. So right now I'm facing north. Our sunset and sunrise will be east and west. So we want our cameras facing north or south, but never directly straight east and west. Now, there will be times where you have no choice. You have a spot that you want to watch. That's the trail, that's the tree. You got to make it work. But what's going to happen is when that sun's coming up or going down, it's really going to mess with the quality of the camera. You're going to get all these overexposed pictures. It'll actually trigger the camera, set it off. So this camera's facing to the northeast. So it is, but there is a potential it's going to pick up some sun glare, but way better than if it were to face straight east. So this one's angled a little bit because this is just the spot that it is, and that's where we need it. But that's also something to take into consideration, the direction in which you face your camera. North and south is always best. East and west, it could be a little tricky. You're going to get some bad pictures. So now this one's on custom. It's probably taking a few pictures of us. We're going to gather up our stuff, and we're going to head to the next spot. Out to the next spot, we just spotted a pretty decent buck. I'll have to review this video. It was I didn't see it very long, but it looked like a nice one, so that's pretty cool. It's a good sign. So we're gonna keep going. We got a long walk ahead of us. All right, guys. So right here, I've got a little cable. I bought these on Amazon. They came in a 3 or 5 pack, pretty cheap, 10, 20 bucks. I don't remember. It's been a while, but they work great. So don't forget to turn your camera on, because we're going to close this up and then we're going to lock it. So we're going to end up with a couple little videos of us doing this here. So we've got a loop right here. We're going to have to weed this through, and it's going to be a tight fit. Actually, let's do this one first. Go through the back. Now remember, every year this being a bit of a struggle. In fact, we may need to loosen it up. Alright, there we go. So the cable's through. Let's retighten this. Go around. One of these pieces we're going to drive down through this on the side, because if we don't lock this, they'll be able to open our camera up and take our card, which sometimes it's just as important as your camera. You don't want to lose that if you got good stuff on there. Tight fit, tight fit. All right, there we go. We'll wrap this around, and this one is a perfect size. These chains meet up perfectly in the back. Throw a lock on, and you're good to go. Now, this is just a deterrent. You know, if someone really wants this camera, they're going to get it. But you hope that they see this, and it's maybe just not worth messing with to them. So, secure that on. Don't forget about our strap. Wrap that around. Loop it in. And we're all set to go. We're going to trim this stuff up before we leave, just to be on the safe side. We don't want anything getting in the way of our camera. You get a blowing windstorm, all this stuff 3-4 foot away will come right in front of your camera. So we'll clean that up, and then we're out into the next. All right, guys, as you can see behind me, I got this camera quite a ways up. I'm 6'3". This is, I don't know, I'd say it's got to be 7 feet up. It's going to angle down, and it's going to look at this corner right here. We got corn, we got beans, and then we got coming out of the woods. This section right here. It is pretty windy out here, and that's obviously why we knocked this grass down. The corn is going all over, the beans are going all over, but this grass, just knocking it down, is going to help a lot with false trips. This is a great spot. I've had a lot of nice deer on camera right here, but as you can see, we got this bracket in, and it's very easy setup. Just screws right into the tree, camera clips right into it, and you know, you got to play around with them a little bit. It's going to be very different from what you're used to with hanging them lower. You know, hanging them lower, it's very different. So you really got to play around with this. And there are some downfalls to doing it like this. I've had several times raccoons will climb up and mess with the camera because they're curious, and they'll push the camera and face it straight down. So you got to make sure you get a good bracket to help prevent that from happening. So this spot's all set up, camera's turned on. It's all good to go. It's windy. I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of false videos, but this is a great spot, and I got to run a camera here. So we're going to move on to the next one, and we're going to keep kind of showing you some tips and tricks here, okay? Alright guys, I got my wild game camera on the tree here. It just attaches with these little bungee cords. Not a huge fan of these, but they do work. You just can't get them on too big of a tree. I got this area cleaned out. We got our overhang branch. We got our camera angling to the southeast, so there should be no problems with the sun. Also, we do have a big cover of trees right here, which will block any sun coming in. So this is a great spot for getting the camera to operate, not have those overexposed pictures. This camera does not have a burst mode. It's a single picture, so that is unfortunate, but these cameras do work pretty good still. So we got this one set up. We got one more camera to hang in this parcel. It's on the opposite corner. We're gonna head over there. That's a really cool spot, and we're gonna get that all set up, and then we'll be done for the day. So let's take a walk over there. All right guys, we're in our last spot. I got this camera up on this post right here, and Peyton, if you pan behind you, show them kind of what we're overlooking here. It's pretty open. Deer use this corner as a cross. They'll come right down that lane that Peyton's filming right now from that other set of woods. They'll come into this woods, they'll cross in here, they'll cross into here. So this is a very high traffic area. I like this spot. I was expecting this to be corn. I forgot this was beets. I was expecting this to be corn, but that's okay. Like, they're still gonna travel all through here. This is gonna be a super highway. I got this camera set up on picture mode. Usually I run video mode back here, and I would if this was corn and we could clean this lane up, but it's all just dependent on what you guys want to do with your spots. The camera that we hung in the first corner of this property, that's on video mode. The rest are on picture mode. So this one's actually really easy to set up. Very little cleanup. It's level. Green light's coming on. We walked out there, everything's good. All I got to do is tighten up my strap, tie it around so that it's not flopping in the wind, and we're out of here. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you learned something. You know, like I said, I'm no expert at cameras, but I do run 15 to 20 a year, and I've learned a lot just about what makes it successful to hang a camera. Now, you can hang a camera anywhere, but it doesn't mean you're going to get a deer, and it doesn't mean that you're going to have good pictures. So I hope that some of these tips get you guys out in the field and get you working with your cameras and get you some nice bucks on camera. And if you do, send them to the Outdoor Gladiators so we can post them on our site. We'd love to share you know, our fans' photos on our Instagram and our Facebook. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification. And as always, stay safe out there, guys. Thanks a lot for coming along.